to you. It's a little booklet I produced, should have one handy. The paper's coming up, 1 hour 15 minutes. How many questions? 5 questions, all of varying lengths. How many of these 5 do we need to use NOP? The middle 3, 2, 3 and 4. I want to talk to you now about the second of those, which is question 2, funnily enough. And this, I'm looking at my booklet, is the analysis question. This is worth 8 marks. So if we do our bit of maths, we should spend about 12 minutes on this in its entirety. That includes reading it and looking at it and analysing it. So in terms of writing, we're not talking more than 10 minutes. This one will be asking you to consider a picture, a photo, a cartoon, a poster, a visual source. And it will be worded like, what is the message of source A? What is the purpose of source A? Why did the government allow source A to be published? So it's asking you to look and analyse a pictorial visual source. Okay, you need to really talk about what you see in the picture, because nothing is in a photo or in a picture or an illustration without a good reason. So I'm going to go through some of the pictures we've looked at in class. I'm sure you're very familiar with them. Bear with me, I'm just going to tease out some things that are in the drawing which some people don't actually mention. They know what the thing is produced for, but they don't draw out and point out and describe things that are actually in the source. I want to make sure you do when you answer this particular question. So, bear with me, have a look at some of these. This one here, this one's in my classroom, so if we were talking about this drawing, we could say the artist has drawn a very seductive looking woman, very attractive, very beautiful. It looks like the scene is meant to be some kind of party. How do we know that? Because this guy here is holding a glass of whiskey or some spirit in his hand. We have got 3 gentlemen, you know, all leaning in towards the woman, all obviously interested in her. Why are they in different uniforms? To represent the 3 services. What else could we mention here? We've got the famous motto at the bottom, careless talk costs lives. What's the purpose of this? You know, be aware of what you're talking about, who you're talking to. Don't let anything that's official or could be of use to the enemy slip, even in the presence of a beautiful woman, because who knows, she could be a spy, she could be someone who's letting secrets out to people she shouldn't. Okay, that's that one. This one you may have seen. It says together at the bottom. How has the artist drawn this one, and why has he drawn it in such a fashion? We've got the fluttering Union Jack at the top. We would have to talk about that. Why has the artist put that there? Perhaps to make all of the characters beneath it appear to be fighting or all together under the one thing, the British flag. Why have they all been drawn differently, these guys? Why are they all of different races, different uniforms? Because they're all from different parts of the British Empire. That's why they've been drawn in that fashion. So this is to make sure that people are aware it's not just Britain fighting, it's Britain's imperial empire, all its colonies are coming to the relief or to the aid of the mother country, and designed perhaps to get the soldiers of these countries to think they're fighting for the same thing. Let's have a look at this one here. Again, it's this careless talk costs lives. You would have to mention that. It's part of a whole series of posters designed to stop people talking about things they shouldn't. And again, if you were looking at this one, you talk about his face, you talk about his expression, he's in a dilemma. You talk about the woman, the way that she has been drawn, the way her head is tilted at an angle. She appears to be imploring him to say and talk to her about things he knows. He's a soldier, she's maybe his girlfriend, perhaps his wife. Don't tell her, don't tell anybody. Even your closest loved one might say something in the wrong place that might aid the enemy. Discuss at least 2 or 3 things within the picture. What else have we got? Dig for victory. If we were talking about this, if we were faced with this one, again, it's a poster promoting the growth of vegetables in your front garden, your back garden, any spare stretch of land during the period when goods were being rationed during the Second World War. You talk about the guy's face, the smile on his face, the pipe at a jaunty angle, his arms overloaded with, you know, beautiful vegetables, happy, coming home from a hard day at work. Everybody's contributing to the war effort. This one, again, very familiar. You should be very familiar with this. We've seen the colour version. It's trying to get women to join the factory workforce. Her face is ecstatic, smile across her face, her arms wide. The aeroplanes are flying as if conjured up by magic. discuss these things. They've all been put in there for a reason. Don't just say it's a propaganda poster trying to get women to join the munitions factory. Describe everything you can see that's in there. That will get you some marks. This woman's face, her demeanour, her attitude. She's obviously happy to be joining London Transport or the bus company or whatever. She's doing her bit for the war effort. What have we got here? If we were faced with this one, you describe the woman's posture, her attitude, her chin sticking out, knock-kneed Adolf Hitler, the writing that's on her skirt. The purpose of this, to tell all women who are engaged in part-time work that their work is absolutely valuable. They are symbolically giving Hitler a slap round the face. Describe the things you see. 2 or 3, if you're faced with a picture like this cartoon. You describe the soldier's face, he's winking. Why is he winking? The war's coming to an end. We're rolling on. The war's going on, but we're winning. We're pushing forward. We're advancing. He's raising a toast to this guy with the big nose. This is, of course, William Beveridge. Play on the word beverage. Beverage is a drink. Foaming jug of beer. Looking forward to a better world. The cartoonist obviously thinks that beverage is a good thing, and perhaps the Labour government is a good thing because it's going to put Beveridge's thoughts and words into action, into law, and a soldier obviously agrees with it. It's pushing that agenda. This is an advert for soap. What can we say about that? You'd say about what clothes she's wearing. She's dirty, her arms are dirty, she's doing a man's job, she's working on the engine of a car, but her face is absolutely pristine. Looks like she's walked out of a magazine, beautiful face. These are the things you need to talk about whenever you're faced with a picture, a photo, a cartoon, a drawing. Nothing is included in any of these by accident. So draw out what's in it, and then you talk about why it was produced, why the artist has drawn that person in that fashion. Look at the caption. Who's producing it? Is it the government? Is it the ministry of something? Do they want people to react to the poster? I'm sure they do, otherwise they wouldn't produce the damn thing. Make sure you talk about things within the poster and then the purpose, NOP. You need to talk about that. Question 2, the visual source.